Yo! What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is an episode 1. Episode 1 of Vinland Saga.
Yeah, you guys have been asking for this one. So
Yeah,
like,
people have been requesting the crap
deal.
out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Vikings.
Yeah. The caption here says Young Thorfinn, and that just sounds like a fun time to me.
Yeah.
Do you think he has fins?
No.
No?
No.
I'm gonna bet that he has fins. And that this is Vikings plus mermaids.
Viking mermaids.
Yeah.
Vermaids. Yeah.
The vermaids.
The vermaids. Yeah.
If you want to watch the full length, I can go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't, stay here, because you're already here, and we're about to start another anime. A fact that Clarus is not at all upset about.
I'm fine. I just was like, oh, we're watching a lot of anime lately, and you know what? That's
Because
right.
I'm on strike.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Wow, okay, here we go.
Soon, you'll be overwhelmed by their second wave.
That man is huge.
How can you do that from...
All right.
He's a nimble one, isn't he? Wait, you're going alone?
There's nothing better than slicing someone in half and then it takes a second for it actually to peel apart.
Right.
It's the move.
Ah,
I hate hail. Yeah, we're so close to it too. That man does not fear death.
That sucks.
That was inconvenient.
I've done that many a time. Just trip over my own feet.
Oh.
Like, oh God.
I thought you meant climb out of the ocean waters after being shot in the chest with an arrow. Interesting. Is the guy from the opening not in the opening credits?
I don't see him.
I'm so curious.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
So I think the show's about his son?
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it's a saga, right? It might be generational. I love the costuming of the characters. Is it costuming when it's animated? I guess you could say
The
that,
design?
right? Costume design?
Yeah.
Are they farming peat? That's the shit that you can smoke, right? Get high.
I have no idea.
Should we go to Iceland? Apparently you can get super cheap flights.
Honestly, I'm down. Apparently Iceland is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That was me growing up. I am Thorfinn.
Just a little blonde boy.
Milking a cow
He's
and
probably going to grow
miserable
up to be
about it.
6'4".
Right. This is... we are actually reacting to this because this is my life story. So.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
We should have started with that.
I was a wee, blonde Icelandic boy. Flirty, fleety, flee.
A new continent!
England.
A place like that needed a name,
Vinland? No.
so I called it Vinland.
You nailed it.
Sounds like England.
Think better of me now, old man Leif Erikson?
Oh, no, he is talking about America.
Even next, were people there? Was the weather
Oh.
warm?
The headdress.
Well, no, he's Leif Erikson.
Leif Erikson.
Yeah, he discovered America 500 years before Christopher
Oh,
Columbus
that's the guy. Yep.
We made friends with the natives as well.
did. Mm-hmm.
I knew there was someone, but I didn't remember his name.
Here, take it. Lights up.
Oh no, is that an anime mom?
She's in trouble, guys.
She's in trouble.
If she puts
She
her
doesn't
hair
have
in
the
a side
haircut, though.
ponytail.
Yeah. She doesn't have the haircut. She's fine.
No, why can't we go right now?
But you...
Because you're 8.
My grandfather told me it lives in the west, eating all the ships that sail
That's
by.
very cute.
And he's exactly right. Which ought to give you some idea of how phenomenal I am. When you sail a ship, you fight against the sea. Now what about that?
That's fair. I consider myself a bit of a sea fighter myself, having been on a cruise ship. So, you know, same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
You ask me, that's just...
Well, I mean, if my father told me you were a warrior, then I'd believe it, but...
Canada. I
I
hate
know.
this. This is giving me...
Maybe we shouldn't go to Iceland. What the fuck?
Iceland is beautiful. Greenland is cold.
Aren't they both cold in the winter, though?
Well, yeah.
You must be frozen stiff, Ilva. Let me warm you up.
You pervert.
She's really shitting on the image of Leif Erikson. I love when people are like, we're going to take a historical figure from like 700 years ago and we're just going to take a fat dump on him. Oh, this might all be true, and like I don't know enough about Leif Erikson to know. Oh, we're just doing it. Okay.
Return!
What's wrong?
No, it's a dream.
Yeah.
It hurts. Ilva, there's no room for both of us. You have your own bed. Now, go back to sleep and let me give you a big hug.
I guess if it's that cold.
Yeah. I'll cuddle anyone in the cold. I don't,
Yeah.
well, no, you have to smell all right. But like, as long as you don't stink, I'll cuddle anyone in the cold.
Normal people would just buy a slave. Especially with Mother's health, your daughter shouldn't have to do all the chores.
That was surprising.
Yeah, I just was not expecting that.
Probably historically accurate, but like,
Yeah.
oof.
And she's dead.
Nah, there's enough snow.
I
She's
thought
fine.
that was it for me.
Is that person in the middle of the night?
This is moving very quickly. It's interesting. Oh, fuck.
Our provisions ran out in no time. We ate ice to try to forget our hunger. Eventually, our ship succumbed to the pressure.
Jesus.
You're lying. You really are a big liar! My father and my ancestors would never run away like that! Stupid old man! Washed up geezer!
He's like, sure, kid, whatever you fucking say.
Yeah. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
He's alive!
Wow.
Thors! Come quickly! Halfdan is at the harbor. No doubt he and his men are here looking for trouble again.
Fuck.
Thing that looks good around someone's neck is a chain. Not gold or silver, just an iron chain.
Alright, put it on then.
You want to wear one?
Yeah. You think it looks
If you love it so much.
Wouldn't you agree?
No, dude. You're so creepy.
I remember you. You good-for-nothing little shit. You're the cocky bastard who took off my left arm.
And I'll do it again. Is this show just got it sucked to be a Viking?
Maybe.
Lord Halfdan. You will stand down.
The fuck?
The runaway slave I seek is a young Slavic man. Does anyone know where he is?
Jesus Christ, dude.
How did he, like, rip his face off?
Well, maybe the chain is so cold that the metal froze to the skin, and then when he ripped,
Oh.
it's like when you stick your tongue to a pole.
What if I give you 4?
Idiot! Did you not understand what Lord Halfdan just told?
Silence.
After what happened on the docks, I wouldn't try and talk for this man.
No, God.
So, Thors, do you honestly believe you freed that man from his chains? Where exactly do you plan on taking him? I'll be choosing the sheep myself.
Why would you pay for a dead guy? Like, at that point, it doesn't matter.
Honor. I don't know. His dad is massive.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get the scene with the mom who's like, yeah, but like seriously, like what were you thinking?
Yeah, I don't. How many sheep do they have?
Question. Interesting.
Okay.
What do you think?
It definitely feels like a pilot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I just mean that, like, it was kind of like, it felt like a kind of very simple, contained story to introduce some history and some characters.
Yeah. I think that in terms of some of the anime pilots that, because I'm trying not to compare it to like other things, right? I'm trying to compare it just to, recently we've watched kind of the Attack on Titan pilot. I've watched One Piece really recently, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood. I don't think it did much for me in terms of setting up what journey there is for me to really care about in this.
Yeah.
And I think that the part of the weirdness about that for my taste is that we know that they don't settle America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that being the main thrust of the show is...
Like, for a moment it was like, are they gonna go back to Norway?
Yeah.
But...
I don't know. As a pilot, it's interesting. Because honestly, I'm curious on keeping going because people love this show and people are like, this show gets so good.
Yeah.
I didn't love the first episode.
Yeah, me neither. It just didn't like do anything for me.
Yeah, I think that part of it is that it's plot wise fairly generic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's the like, we need to build up why this guy's a good guy, so we're gonna put him in this situation where he's gonna do the right thing, even though it doesn't really make sense for his family.
Yeah.
And because he has honor, but he's maybe not the main character of the show. So like, I don't know.
Well, it's hard to tell, because you said Saga, like generational, and it does seem like the intro credits focuses a lot on his son. Mm-hmm. But he might be the main character for like the first half of this season. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing bad about it.
No.
It just wasn't particularly interesting to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel that. Like, there was no, like, hook.
Yeah.
That made me want to come back for episode 2.
Well, and even like...
I'm interested, like you said. People say it's good, and, like, there could be a cool story there, but I wasn't really shown that in episode 1.
Yeah, I think that if you've read the manga, the tease at the end... And this is a thing that I've noticed with anime in particular, mm-hmm. is that the teasing things at the end from future editions of the manga... to end your first episode is always weird to me because you can do that with later things, but I think for your first episode, it should really be about what the first episode is about.
Yeah.
And when you throw in like, look at this guy with his haircut, and I'm like, I have literally no concept or clue. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I don't know why you put that there. That was a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But for the people who've read the manga, it makes sense. And
yeah.
I think that anime as an adaptation art, I think at times becomes a little bit hindered by its attempt to steer so close to what the manga does. And I think that by adapting a little bit more for the animation platform, I think that they might actually be better served at times. But anime, traditionally is used to sell mangas, and so like that kind of is more the goal.
Yeah.
It's just it is interesting in this case where the opening credits versus the show versus I just don't really the tone felt very strange to me.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't have strong feelings one way or the other. Like you said, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I didn't hate it. There was nothing where I was like, oh. But there was nothing that made me go, ooh, yeah, this is really cool. So.
Yeah, I'm curious to watch episode 2. Mm-hmm. Should we put episode 2 in this video, or should we make this a 1 hour and then?
I feel like the pilot is like a by itself thing. That's what you did with One Piece.
Yeah, but there's 24 episodes. If we're gonna do it in 2s, we should just do it in 2s the whole way through. Let's do it in 2s, because honestly, like, I want to watch episode 2 to see if I like this or not.
Okay, fair enough.
You know?
Yeah.
So let's jump into episode 2. Let's see where this is going, because I am curious if the pilot is just a backstory thing.
Yeah.
And then the story actually starts in episode 2.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, because that happens sometimes. It's generally not my favorite way for stories to happen, because it, much like I think Star Trek Discovery had this problem, where the first 2 episodes of that first season are so different from what that show actually is.
Yeah.
And so you don't actually get a good sense of what the show is from watching the first episodes of the show.
Yeah.
I'm curious if that's going to be the same thing here, because I don't really know what to like. I don't really know how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Didn't hate it. Didn't love it. Don't think any of it's bad.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like well-animated, generic plotline.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll watch episode 2 and we'll...
Yeah, let's see where this is going.
Northumbria.
Oh wow, we're bouncing around.
Where's Robin Hood?
It was a Saturday, and Vikings always bathed on that day.
True.
And only on Saturdays. Jesus Christ.
They're jealous that they're all taller than them.
Can you imagine stabbing someone nude bathing? Like,
can't imagine stabbing someone.
that's fair. But at least have the like honor to meet them on the battlefield. Like, Jesus Christ.
It's the English, babe.
That's fair. They are the worst. Especially like, nah, not for me.
I can say that. I'm like 70% English.
Anyone can say that. There is nobody on earth who isn't allowed to make jokes about the English.
Yeah, they've earned it.
All right, now spare troops advance! Charge!
Jesus Christ. Those children are dead.
You aren't allowed to enter Valhalla unless you're a really brave warrior. Oh, you're right.
Oh.
I wonder if my mother and sister would be let in. I hope so.
No, actually. Isn't that fun?
The patriarchy.
The Valhalla is the circle jerk in the sky.
That's what happens when it rains.
God damn. That's why I go to the gym, is so that I can one day look like Thorfinn. Without the scars.
How can this be so difficult?
Looks like you're putting in a little too much force.
Huh? He's like, I don't know my own strength.
He's so large.
He's so big. And that other guy was a head taller than him.
Yeah. They're Vikings. They're like 7 feet tall. You'd be short there.
Yeah. That'd be nice. My neck wouldn't hurt so much from looking down at all the short people around me.
Oh my god.
Hey, here he comes. You think these men are here to raid our village?
Oh, they probably would have done that already.
We haven't seen each other since the Norway campaign, have we, Thors?
Face shape is killing me.
And then by spring, the invasion of England will begin in earnest.
Do as you so choose. This is a village at the edge of the world.
Thanks for letting us know.
If there are those who were deserters.
Deserters?
Are any doors in this house closed right now?
No.
Or could it be that this place has changed you?
Run! Come on!
So did you hear that? A war!
Awesome.
This'll be my first time.
Awesome.
Sorry.
I was like, okay. Is that supposed to be like trauma?
We only do close-ups on trauma.
He has agreed and has answered our great leader's request by promising to provide one warship for our cause. Farewell, Thors the Troll. We'll soon meet on the battlefield.
All right, he said yes. Let's go to war.
Off to war! The battle!
I don't think you're coming, Grandpa.
To die on the battlefield, a man's true honor!
It's decided. We'll prepare the ship tomorrow.
Yeah!
to die on the battlefield.
God, yeah.
I'm so excited.
The brainwashing was peak.
Still is.
If I fled, they'd retaliate against the village.
Couldn't you just be like, I'm old? Guys, I'm like 40, like...
Because if anything happens, you'll have us looking out for you. Here we go.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna die.
Yeah. I think they're all gonna die.
Well, yeah. I think most of them, yeah.
Okay, that's enough, Thorfinn! Go, surround him!
Thorfinn's like, now it's real. No more fucking around.
The back!
Thorfinn!
You have to follow the rules. Yeah, that's right. What's your problem?
Your arm's broken. This is far too rough for child's play.
Jesus Christ, Thorfinn.
Wait, my son did this? I'm truly sorry about that.
But he's still only 6, isn't he?
He's 6?
That boy's gonna grow into a strong fighter. He must take after you in that respect, eh, Thors?
Look at how we beat up all these 10-year-olds.
That gear was passed down from your grandfather, so make him proud.
This guy's definitely gonna die.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I just need to find a real weapon, because if I had one...
To go attack the 10-year-olds with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I do like that it has this side up. Directions to which way to stab with.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So pretty.
Stab in this direction. Hey, Dad, what the fuck? That's why the arrows are on it, because he always grabs it by the blade.
Nobody in this entire world deserves to get hurt.
No, I think you're wrong about that.
No.
I know what's really happening!
Thorfinn!
Oh, come on, watch it!
He is still holding it. Like,
I
what?
know, I'm like, Jesus.
He's like the girl from the escape room movies who just can't feel pain. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Christian monk, if you dodge it, I'm gonna kill you.
All right. This shit's fucked.
Hey, what's the matter, Yams Vikings? Why don't you guys come have a drink with us?
You can have your way with this ship and any cargo you come across. Just be sure that Thors is dead.
It's weird. Like, I feel like we're watching a show where someone took the show and then, like, I feel like we're watching the flashbacks of a show and someone took the show and edited it into chronological order.
Okay, interesting.
Because Thors as a character is so chill.
Yeah.
That he's frankly boring as a protagonist.
Yeah.
The kid is too young to be interesting as a protagonist.
Yeah.
And neither of them want anything really. Like, Thors doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
And the kid really wants to do this, but is 6.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know what. I feel like I'm watching the kid's backstory, but this is like episode 4 or 5 and flashback stuff.
Right.
That is just the beginning of the show. And none of it's bad. Again, much like episode 1, it's not that anything's bad. It's just not particularly interesting or different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That and that's a big part of it is like this is like it doesn't feel like it's doing anything different. It's like, yep, it sucked to be a Viking. Yep, it sucked to live back then. Yep, people did terrible things. Like, and unless you have something to like say about that that's like different, like, you can do that story, and, like, that's cool, but, yeah, I don't find anything particularly riveting.
I think that there's this is the kind of show where, like, people clearly love it. There's 46 episodes left that are out in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So, like, there's so much room for this to go places.
Absolutely.
But as a start, these 2 episodes, as, like, a beginning to a show, are just kind of, like...
Like, I'd rather rewatch The Last Kingdom.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, yeah, it's so interesting because it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just kind of bland.
Yeah. And I've never, like, watched an anime that I would ever describe as bland. Like, and so it doesn't, like, it feels, like, wrong, but yeah, it just is kind of, like, it's cool. And I have no strong feelings about it. Like there's nothing that I'm like, whoa, or like, that's a really cool idea, or this is really interesting, let's explore that. Like, I'm just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things I find about when you have a character who is your main character right now, which is Thor's, right? Because Thorfinn is too young to, like, be active.
Yeah.
Narratively.
He's basically an infant. Like,
he's 6.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You have to give them, like, because he's older and he is experienced in life, you have to give him, like, really clear desire. And he just is kind of like, it's so unclear what he wants because when he makes decisions, it is when the camera isn't there. And so, like, the guy comes out and is like, Thor's decided to join us. And you're like, all right, but if he's the main character, we should probably be with him for that decision. Yeah. You know what I mean? Rather than...
I mean, the guy basically threatened him, so it's like we knew he was going to come to that decision, but that's still the most interesting part.
100%. But the show is making Thorfinn the protagonist by having the decision be revealed when Thorfinn is watching, not when Thor's is watching, right?
Yeah.
And so by doing that, they're trying to make the kid the protagonist, but he's 6, and he's just kind of a little shit because he doesn't know better.
Yeah.
And so... he's like, I want a weapon. Why? To fight my enemies. Okay, cool. You're going to grow out of that because, like, life was going to happen to you.
Yeah.
But, like, that life, that shit's going to be more interesting than this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. Like, it does feel like a flashback prologue kind of thing. Like, I feel like by episode 5, the show is going to be totally different. And maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think you're wrong, and I hope so.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's just, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's playing with ideas that are pretty generic, you know?
Yeah, like, it, you know, if it doesn't end up being something that we, like, we really enjoy, I don't know if we'll take the time to react to all 48 episodes. But, you know, I think we'll watch a bit and see how we feel. And if there is a hook, if there is something interesting, like, if there is a shift that, like, gets us on board, like, I'm super down. But, yeah, at this moment, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's a show. It looks good. There's some beautifully animated stuff in there.
I just think it's weird to be in a position where I'm like, God, I just want Thor's to die and for them to get to the plot.
Yeah.
Because that's what the show is, right? And part of the problem is that the opening credits reveal that the show is about Thorfinn in the future.
But I feel like it would be obvious even without the credits. Because, like you said, like, everything is from his perspective.
I would normally say so, but Thorfinn is 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's, like, a 12 or 13-year-old that is going to have, like, a 3-year time gap. But if we time gap to him being an adult, that's, 12 or 13 years later.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. And it, again, like, it's not bad. It's beautifully animated. There are some gorgeous shots.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And even the action, I think what's so interesting about the action is that because the action, like him squeezing the dagger with his hand was more interesting to me than any of the action on the show so far.
Absolutely.
Because all of the action so far has just been in, like, conflict for the sake of conflict. Yeah. And there's no, like, emotional or
just people
even
each
cultural
other.
reason for any of it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know who in the opening credits who they were fighting.
Yeah.
Like, there's no and none of the action has had goals or, like, objectives or meaning. It's literally just been, look, that guy got stabbed, look how crazy that is, or look, he used his chain thing to somehow rip all the skin off that guy's face somehow.
Yeah.
And so I like even the action is just kind of not that
anyway.
interesting yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think that moment was interesting, but also I was kind of like, how the fuck?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, not bad. I don't have any strong feelings towards it, and therefore, like, I just don't feel like I have a ton to say about it, and like that kind of sucks. And I'm sorry, like, I just don't have.
It's hard to react to something that you're just that is just like, so kind of like, all right, is this the scene where we're gonna get to it? No. Okay. Is this the scene where we're gonna get to it? No.
Yeah.
I just want the show to get to it.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get to it. Like I think.
It's good enough that I want to keep going because I don't hate it. Like I'm just kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
We're on our way, and hopefully we get there soon. I've just never seen an anime that had this bland an opening.
Yeah. Normally,
you know what I mean?
Normally they're a lot more heightened, and I don't need that. I don't need all the crazy superpower, magical, superhuman stuff like for a thing to be interesting. I'm not even saying
I've never seen an anime with I've seen animes that don't have superpowers. I've just never seen one that had an opening 2 episodes that had so little going on. Yeah. Like usually like the plot kind of slows down after a few episodes, but they, as an art form, they usually shoot out of a cannon pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And this one is just kind of like we're pushing snow off of our roof, and then this guy comes to get a slave that survived the night somehow in the snow, and he took some of our sheep and left, and then now this other guy comes and needs me to come fight a war, but I don't know.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of like mundane things in the show, and like I understand that like living back then, the day to day wasn't particularly interesting, but I don't really want to watch it.
Unless it is a slice of life, but if you're gonna do that, like you need to give the mom a personality, and you need to give the sister a personality.
Yeah.
Like
right now, all we know about the sister is that she's okay with slavery.
Yeah.
That's all that we know.
Which at the time, like obviously like historically accurate, right? Like
Totally. I'm not saying that as a detriment. I'm saying it is the only thing that I know about her.
Oh well, and she liked her sheep.
Sure. Did she like the sheep because she thought that the sheep were valuable, or did she care about them as animals? I don't know.
But that's the thing. Like, I think that if you're gonna slice of life it, you have to like introduce.
I don't think it's a slice of life. People have said it's a shonen. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, but then like Thorfinn is gonna grow up, which means that his dad is gonna die. So then don't belabor it. Like don't hold. Like everybody knows where this is going, and so don't hold off on it because everyone's just sitting there like He's sitting there talking about how violence is bad. We like all of this.
Just kill him already.
You know what I think the problem is? All of this could have been done faster.
Yeah.
And like tighter.
Yeah.
And when you're starting your show, if we didn't react to things, if this wasn't like something that people were like, we want to see you experience this, I would stop here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm fully of the belief that like you don't have to finish watching a thing.
Yeah.
Your time is valuable. Spend it on things that like bring you joy, bring you excitement, bring you emotion, like.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what Brandon comes up with in the edit. Because I feel like I spent a lot of time just reading.
Me too. I was like, yeah.
But it's still Wit Studios, so it looks amazing.
It does.
You know what I mean?
It truly does.
I will never say a bad thing about Wit Studios' work.
Yeah.
They are masters of animation.
Yeah.
Truly. I will happily watch anything they put to paper.
Yeah.
Or digital, whatever. You know what I mean?
Digital paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, when we should keep watching until, and if we don't like it by then, maybe it's not for us.
Yeah. Without spoiling, when does the hook come in the show?
Yeah.
That's a good. You know what? That's a good point. Yeah. When does the hook come?
When
because it's not there yet.
No.
And if this is the whole show and you're just abort, let us know that too.
Yeah, if you're like, oh, you don't like this, you're not going to like this show, that's okay. Let us know. That's totally fine. Not everything is for us. And no show is for everybody. It's just how the world works.
I do like that after 2 episodes, the only 2 characters, there's 3 characters I can name. 2 of them are named Thors.
Yes.
Well, I guess Floki. There's only two like people in the village.
I only remember
and
that
then
one
Leif
because it
Erikson.
sounds like fake Loki.
Yeah, well,
Floki.
it's Thor's and Floki.
Yeah, I know.
It's literally like
I know.
alt Thor and alt Loki.
Yeah.
Although
I'm pretty sure like that name, those kind like, you know, they're named after the gods on purpose, but it is just very funny thematically.
Wait, Floki is being deceptive and is trying to get Thor's killed? I never could have seen that coming.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We're actually watching Avengers right
This
now.
is Thor the Dark World. Although I will say, Thor the Dark World, more interesting than this. Than this? Yes.
More interesting, but whether or not it's
There's great scenes. I will defend scenes in that movie.
Scenes.
I don't think it comes together as a whole. I agree with that. And I think that that's why people don't like it. But I think that there's enough good in Thor the Dark World that it is a fun time. And I think people are too hard on it because it came out in a time when the MCU was hitting so hard each time. And so the fact that it was just a good movie at a time when MCU was like knocking it out of the park.
Okay movie. I wouldn't say it's good.
I would say it's good.
Okay.
The Thor Loki scenes in that movie are incredible. Tom Hiddleston like really brings it the whole film. The final fight,
incredible.
The comedy of the final fight is great, even though the final fight isn't great. But
Yeah.
the comedy of it is very fun.
But like even that, like that's worth like a 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like
it's good enough. I had a good time. I rewatched it and I was like, you know what? This is better than people give it credit for. But because people talk about it as if it's like trash. And it isn't. It's totally watchable and it's a fun, it's not too long too. It's not from the like, you're way too hard on a movie that you haven't watched in forever.
no, I rewatched it
When?
recently. Like it was like a year.
Why are we talking about Thor the Dark World?
Doesn't matter. But
because it's more interesting than Vinland Saga right now.
Yeah. Anyways, let us know in the comments. You know, if you're and be honest. If you're like, oh, you don't like this, you're not gonna like the show. That's totally fine. We'll move on. There's plenty of other things for us to react to. So, can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah.
Our Discord's gonna be like,
I just can't imagine it doesn't get more interesting than this.
No, it has to. People love this, and so there's got to be something.
There's got to be something that happens in this show where I'm like, okay, this is a plot.
Yeah.
Because right now this is like the most. I was in a war and I ran away from it and I don't want to be in war anymore. And now my children are here and I got threatened to be back in the war. And I'm like, I've just seen
that before.
this.
Yeah.
This is like it's like we took the most basic Greek tragedy from 4,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But if you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me in comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, that algorithm goddess is... Thor's wife did stop him from clenching the dagger.
The blade,
so
yeah.
she did something in this episode.
Active. Kind of.
That girl got fucking yeeted in the face.
Yeah, the girl who got punched in the face.
No, she didn't get punched. He took his blade and he popped her on the chin.
Yeah, no, you're right. She could have bit her own tongue off.
Oh, she's 6. She's fine.
She might be like 9.
Children bounce back.
Yeah, sure.
They're rubber.
You lose your tongue, it's fine. You'll bounce back.
Yeah. They heal. You're like a salamander until you're like 11 and then it stops.
Yeah, that's how that works. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm impressed that a 6-year-old was able to break another kid's arm. That's a lot of force.
Yeah. Maybe that kid just has weak bones. He didn't drink his milk.
Well, they do have milk. They do have milk.
Do something nerdy tonight.
If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
Do something nerdy tonight. See, that's where it goes. It's been in the same spot in our videos for like 4 years.
Yeah, but it could be like follow at Claris Polaris because then it sounds weird. You gotta go first.
No. Okay.
Fine, I'll start going.
Take two. Here we go.
You can follow us around the internet. I'm at Claris Polaris.
I'm at no. You got to give it like a. You got to make it a little bit more of that. You got to be like,
more of what?
If you want to follow us around the internet, you absolutely can. I'm at Claris. You know what I mean? You got to make a meal of it. You got to make it a dish best served to our audience.
Good night.